Oh, why'd they quit?
Oh boy.
This is gonna go off to a smashing start.
I thought we were dealing with a professional.
I thought we were too.
Oh, that's how you... Well, that's neat.
Well, who just learned something about a pen?
You can't, but you got it.
Yup.
Have you ever seen that before?
Sure.
I have.
I don't like this ganging up on me mentality here.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of This Is My Bourbon Podcast.
You messed him up. Now he has to start again.
The Pen
No.
Podcast.
No.
I'm pushing on through.
Explain that later. Explain that later.
Where we discuss
Go ahead.
the spirit of Kentucky. My name's Perry. Thank you guys for being here with me this week. Are Chad and Sarah of It's Bourbon.
If you couldn't guess.
Hello.
We're off to a great start. Off to the race.
Chad has discovered the wonders of a pen.
Well, no, you click,
You can't describe this pen to anyone.
I can.
They can't look at it.
You'll post a picture of it next week when this episode comes out.
Don't waste time.
It's a click ink, for those familiar. And the part where you would normally like hang it on your, in your pocket protector, if you're a nerd, you have to press it in to release the thing.
This is not interesting to anyone
Do you think
else.
we have any crossover between the Pen podcasts of the world?
Well, we do now, because you can now hashtag pen, and people will...
Hashtag pen.
Hashtag pen.
All right, but bourbon.
Sorry.
So anyway, bourbon.
But bourbon.
So I like to ask you, as we start things off, what you've been drinking. So guys, what y'all been drinking recently?
Well, of course, we drink what we, uncork and put in flight fights, but just recreationally, I've been drinking on the Old Forester Bottled and Bond.
Yes, have I?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, not Old Forester. No, not Old Forester. I've been
I'm
drinking
sorry.
Old Fitz.
Old Fitz is completely what I meant to say.
I was like, what?
Old Fitzgerald.
I was sitting here staring off into the distance like, what the hell?
They're both OF.
Yeah.
Old Fitzgerald Bottled and Bond.
Very confused.
And we are going to be bringing up Old Fitz Bottle and Bond again later on in the episode because, as you can probably tell by the title, we're going to be talking about the price of bourbon.
Mm-hmm. Now this is the the regular discontinued
not
version,
the 11,
the 4-year, not the
Sarah, what you been drinking?
Well, honestly, I've just been kind of jumping around. I haven't been drinking on one thing in particular because I've just been deciding that all of the items on my bar cart are getting a little bit low. So I'm like, I need to just strategically go through all of these things and just hop around. So I've just been kind of doing that and
good time to
refreshing my
replenish.
palate on things that I like.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of things.
Well, I'm going to pull back the curtain a little bit. I'm recording this episode the day after the last time that I recorded an episode. Wait, so I've recorded 2 episodes in 2 days, so I haven't really had too much different from my what I've been
But they
drinking.
could come out months apart.
A week. 1 week.
Okay. All right, well.
So what have you been drinking and are continuing to drink?
So last night we did a bourbon barrel aged beer episode. So we were drinking bourbon barrel aged beers, and we had not Dirty Bastard, Backwoods Bastard from
Founders.
Yeah.
I like that one. It's good.
I really liked it. Tanner and Curtis were not
Really?
as big of fans
Well,
of it.
I like it, but I'm no beer expert.
And then we also had the Anderson Valley Stout that's finished in
that one's
turkey
good.
barrels. I like that one definitely better than I did the Founders. But I mean, overall I liked both of them quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then I was drinking Ancient Age 90.
Nice.
Sweet.
Dang. Perry, it was Tuesday.
Yeah.
I know. If you listen to that episode, you can tell that it shouldn't have been that much on a Tuesday. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So
Well,
anyway.
now it's a Wednesday, and it's acceptably through the middle of the week, and we can drink all these bourbons. So
And we do have a plethora of bourbons that we're going to be
we
drinking.
do. Tell me more about them.
So to wrap up, or to kind of close the circle from last episode, I did make a hand motion. The universal sign of a circle, which is literally just drawing a circle in there. I brought over my bottle of Old Forester birthday bourbon, which is the 95.4. Everybody strap in. The 95.4 proof instead
Hold
of the
on to your
96.
butts. So I guess I need to get mine then.
I guess because we're gonna have to try these back to back.
Yeah.
The awful against the non-awful.
So I think we should probably start with the awful, don't you?
Duh.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It might be nice to be like, oh, this is really good, and oh no, this is terrible.
Yeah, I guess we do have a.
It can really go whatever way you want.
Yeah,
Harry.
sure. Look, I say we just get the bad one out of the way first. We know what we're getting into.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Are we doing that right now?
Yeah, that's how
Yeah.
we're gonna kick off the
Oh,
episode.
okay. Exciting. That's exciting stuff, you guys.
Hey, that was a good one.
Except for that, I really don't want to taste this. I don't.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll
we
go
could-
for
we
like
could-
quarter-ounce pours.
We could
guess.
share
Like
one.
the world's smallest pour of that, please. Just enough to remind me of how much I don't like our bottle. We're about to try Perry's bottle, which is
Yes.
slightly different.
So
Same year.
I have to pose a question to you because we brought this up last week, which was yesterday. Is it pronounced dram or drom?
What?
Because Curtis said drum, and I went,
Oh,
no.
God. No. It's
It's
dram.
dram.
Okay.
And besides that, I just,
Chad hates that word.
I hate that word.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry I brought up such a sore subject.
Well, I'm not a very particular person about anything, but
You're hilarious.
what? What now?
One of the most particular people I have ever met.
Well,
But someone has to be particular.
That's what makes it
in
so
this
lovable.
relationship because I just don't care.
right, obviously. So, no, dram. You can look it up, and it's. I think it's been a while since I looked it up, but from what I remember,
The internet is at our fingertips,
well,
folks.
Only there were a
it's
way
a
to
it's a
confirm.
specific unit of measurement.
Right.
So when someone says, "I'll just have a dram," it's such a small amount that you would never have that.
It's like
So
less
it's
than a-
actually lots and lots and lots and lots of drams.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of a literal person, so it annoys me.
He's literally a literal person.
Literally,
I am
he
literally
is.
a person. And it's also kind of more of a across the sea term. So that
Sure.
would be Scotch. And
Okay.
we're talking
Fair.
about bourbon, and we don't take drams. We take big, old-fashioned glasses full of it. We take a 375 and we just tip it back.
That was fun seeing that breakdown. Like mentally, you're like, I don't know where to go with this. Next.
Dear Lord, this parachute's a knapsack. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm having a
Anyway,
hard time with
With the dram?
with the internet.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll have to update you on that later. It
That's
wants
fine.
to give me measurements in grams, and I don't know.
okay. I'm gonna be real honest. I like the nose a little bit better now than I did last time. All I get is like apples right now.
Still smells like chemicals.
It smells
chemical
like
apples.
it smells like if Tide made a Granny Smith apple laundry detergent.
Oh, then the kids might like
The
it.
kids
then.
might like
The kids
it.
might like it.
I
Kids
hear
these
that they're
days.
eating Tide Pods, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
So they'd be like, "Oh, this is right up my alley."
Delicious.
That's our
I'm gonna
Friday
wash
night.
this Tide Pod down with some Old Forester birthday bourbon.
That's exactly what it smells like, though. And this is what I imagine a Tide Pod
What it
tastes like.
too.
It tastes
don't know,
like
I think it's-
soapy apple bourbon.
Opened up a
Yeah.
little bit.
It has opened up a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say like this time I get some of like the caramel.
Terrible
I don't
aftertaste.
want to throw up as much.
So dry. So dry.
This is so bad.
All right,
What
I
did I
wanna-
what did I score it? I scored it like a 3 out
Like a
of
3 out of 20.
20.
Yeah. I want to keep some here in the glass.
I think that's
Sure,
And,
I gotta compare.
Then hand me some of them glasses.
the glass shuffle.
over there.
That sounds painful.
Why?
One of the. I'm gonna pour all 3.
Oh, I see.
I'm gonna be nice. Damn it! I'm nice. I have people skills. All right. See if your pop's any better.
Worse.
More base.
Well, it's more base because it's more
Well,
empty.
sure.
Yeah. I'll just.
Now I bought my bottle secondhand from a buddy.
Secondhand store.
I got it at the Goodwill. I had a buddy who needed some help, and so he sold me his bottle of birthday bourbon for, we'll just say, less than market value. So I got it at a deal.
Nice.
Ooh. Deals.
Yeah, and so now I reserve it aside from recording of the show for thank you, Chad.
Not terrible.
For birthdays because I think that's
Oh,
a fun
that's
thing.
cute. I like that.
Yeah. Such different. It's similar. It's like my bottle, but without the chemical smell.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
How did this happen? Who let this happen?
And that's
someone's in charge of this.
That's the big thing is that like
Just kidding.
my bottle is 95.4 proof. Chad's is 96. It's only 0.6 proofage points different.
But that's a world of difference.
Look at this. It's a sticker. If you peeled this sticker off, it would have my proof because the proof was written on the bottle, and then yours has a gold sticker over it with your proof.
That's weird. So they printed it and then they changed it?
Oh my gosh, I never even realized that.
Well, yeah, just from an expense standpoint, let's just go ahead and make all the
bottles the same and then
we'll just put a sticker over it.
I mean, that in and of itself is really pretty genius, but...
Yeah.
Well, I'm not familiar if this is a common practice with the birthday bourbon, doing 2 different proofs.
I don't think it is.
You know, they might have been like, ooh, the 96 proof is kind of off. Let's take it down 0.6 proof. Oh, much better.
I just said,
make
though,
a sticker.
Yeah, I was like, who let this happen? And honestly, I don't want to insult that person because I like when you make 1920. So please keep making that.
Yeah.
And they're making what's their next Whiskey Row series again?
1910.
They're doing 1910. Yeah. And I'm really pumped about that. So please don't hate me because I didn't like the one that you made. I like the other one. It's fine.
This is much better.
I told
a world
you.
Of difference.
Yeah, much.
And
better.
I mean, it's still not my most favorite ever, and I still think it's probably overpriced, but I can understand this one.
Yeah,
I get
definitely.
why people want this.
Definitely.
I totally get it.
I think I would but I would really be interested in trying this at a higher proof, too.
Yeah, and that's usually the thing with, special releases. Like, you look at Four Roses.
Yeah.
Their limited editions
So much better.
are usually, or always, I guess, in recent memory anyway, barrel proof.
Right.
And, Knob Creek, when they came out with their 25th anniversary, it was barrel proof, and, but this, a once in a year birthday, is not even 100 proof. I think that's kind of...
Oh, goodness.
lame.
Sorry.
He didn't like it.
I didn't.
Well, I do have some information for you.
Enlighten
Being
us.
that a dram, let's see, is around 3.7 milliliters of liquid. That's a small amount.
That's like nothing.
Also,
3.7 milliliters.
you'll be happy to know, well, you would be happy to know, that up until about the late 80s or early 90s, the use of the word dram was on the decline until it hit a turning point and surprised the world when other people started using it again. Those hipsters. I'm just kidding.
Oh, no.
No, I guess people just got really back into scotch and stuff. I don't know.
It's big dram corporation.
It's still not as high as it was in the 1800s. Not even close to half. But
who back then was keeping track of that?
yeah, look at this chart.
We're gonna
How
need
do they
to
have
know.
this
They
chart?
open like a scroll that's got
Yeah.
all the times that dram was used in 30 days, and they're like, "This is our,
Yeah. Yeah, where
this is
does
our
this,
marker."
Yeah, where's this information coming
We're
from?
playing ye old drinking games. We need some dram of whatever whiskey.
Bartholomew, you realize that a dram is nothing.
It is but 3.75 milliliters. It is. That's how they talked back then. I don't know why.
I feel like I'm in Monty Python
all like
now.
Monty
Yeah.
Python characters. Exactly what I was gonna say.
Bring over your parrot.
Do I
This
really?
parrot's dead. No, it isn't. It's stone dead. That's a famous Monty
I know
Python
what
sketch.
it is.
All right.
I'm just amazed that we always go from having normal conversations to speaking in a movie
This
or TV quotes.
Is normal conversation.
This
I
normal
mean,
conversation is exactly
My other
right.
question
Yeah.
is, do I have to finish this first sample
We
of the
did.
ones? Oh, fine.
She sounded like she changed her word like midway through.
oh, fine, you.
Oh, fine, you.
Okay.
It's bad. It assaults my tongue, and I don't like it.
It's assaulting.
I suppose we should discuss something of importance now.
I suppose. I will trade you this much more full bottle for your much less bottle.
Seems like a bad deal. Don't do it, Harry. Undrinkable or drinkable? That sticker is funny, though.
Yeah. Gonna have to research into that. See if
Yeah,
that's
for
a-
sure.
if that's a
I would
thing.
definitely say that your bottle is undrinkable,
Yeah.
and mine is.
It's one of those things, like, I did this last fall. I went to a fall party, Halloween party, I don't know what it was. And I took a bottle of bourbon that was quite expensive that I didn't really care for. And by I didn't really care for, I mean, I had it for like 2 years and I maybe took like one drink out of it because I absolutely hated it. Maybe two. And and just set it out for everyone to have. And they all thought I was the greatest. They were like, whoa, you brought this bottle? That's so awesome. You're the best. I was like, you haven't tasted it, though. You just think it's fancy. And I think that's what we should do with your bottle. If we ever have a party, let's put that one out. Because why not?
But were they like, still like, oh, it's so great?
Well, most of them I
smart.
prefaced, like, whenever they poured it in their cup, I was like, oh, I just want to see what you think about that. And they were all skeptical, like, why are you looking at me, weirdo?
What'd you do to it?
And I was like, no, I just really want to see what you think. And then I think they kind of caught on to the fact that it wasn't the best thing ever, but I did see one person pour it, and I came up to them later after they had already been drinking. I was like, what do you think about that bourbon? They're like, oh, man, it's so good. I can't believe you brought this. I was like, no.
I don't trust you anymore.
There's one at every party, Sarah.
All. No, But you know what? Maybe their taste buds are different, and they think that terrible, terrible bourbon tastes good.
They're fans. They are fans. There are fans of that
in which case,
bourbon.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. So, there you have it.
Well.
That's why you introduce your friends to better whiskey.
Right? It's much cheaper.
Yeah. Okay, so how do we want to go about doing this? We're gonna discuss this on air. Are we just gonna drink through each of these? Because I had originally said let's do a blind battle. I don't know what.
Blind? I mean, I don't really know that I have any skin in this game. I really like Knob Creek single barrels in general for the most part.
Yeah.
I haven't met one that I didn't like.
Sure.
So I don't know that it really matters to do them blind because I don't really have any.
Well, let's just drink them straight through then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So can I save a little bit to try them all next to each other at the end?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, good. Because I'm not good at remembering.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a little.
Oh, Chad's making a blind flight. No, a flight layout.
I'm just,
He's
just
tracing
so I
circles.
Good idea. Yeah.
know.
Or we could make this really simple and just write
One.
A, B, C.
Yeah, but then you don't know where to place it because you don't have a circle drawn.
He made me
Sorry.
want to do it, so I'm doing it too.
So I guess I need to back up and explain what we're doing.
Tell us.
Excuse me. So I have here 3 different Knob Creek single barrel picks. Each of them are 13 years old.
Oh, I messed up. I drew my circles
Make it
too
fit.
close to
Make
each
it
other.
fit.
See, I did not
Make
make
it work.
that mistake.
My
Wait, yes, I did.
my Tim Gunn impression turned into more of a Donald Trump impression.
Make it work.
Make
That's
it
what I was
work.
thinking. Make it work.
Designers,
and
you
get
have
fired.
30 minutes.
Sad.
Sorry.
Sad.
That's just funny.
And so one of them I got from the Kroger Wine and Spirits in Frankfurt. Our buddy Swan was the one that let me know that it was there and that it was good. And once I tried it, I said I absolutely have to get a bottle of it. The next one is from Justin's House of Bourbon. Excuse me. Justin Thompson was on the show a couple weeks ago. And the other one is from Ernie's Spirits?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Question mark? Is there a question mark in their business name?
Ernie's Spirits? Which is... 2 of these are in Lexington. One of them's in Frankfurt, as I said before. The Ernie's pick was also assisted... They also had assistance from Justin of Justin's House of Bourbon and Seth, his brother from
Thompson.
the Bourbon Review. Yeah. So I've tried both of these back to back. I mean, of course, I had all 3. I've tried the 2 of them back to back. I want to see what you guys think in terms of flavor profile between the 3. But I kind of want to start with the Kroger pick first,
Okay.
if that's okay.
Well, it's your show. It's your call.
This is my show.
You're the boss.
Is your mic plugged? Okay, your mic is plugged in. For a second, I had a panic moment for a second thinking that
Are we
it
going to have
wasn't
to start this all over again? I don't think I can create that
Recreate.
banter again.
There's
that
no
was
way.
real.
I just can't drink Chad's bottle of birthday bourbon again.
Yeah, the show is not scripted, and I can't redo that.
Uh-oh. It's a big cork.
Oh, that was just sad. Sad.
Sad.
Sad. And we're going to devolve into just impressions of the president, which is not,
Can we just speak
not
in
good
quotes
for
and
anything.
impressions because that would be fun.
That'll be the Halloween episode.
Yes.
I was just thinking, wouldn't it be fun to have
Is that
a
good or do you want more?
No, that's plenty.
liquor store called blank, whatever it is you want to call it, blank spirits, but it's always it's a liquor store that's always Halloween themed because spirits. Don't you think that would be fun?
Spirits.
Yeah, spirits. I would go there.
I
It would
would
be
too.
fun
I'd go
all the
there
time.
all the time.
And you could have like different theme nights and tastings based on like whatever shows or movies that are paranormal themed that are out of the time. That would be so
Right.
fun.
I'll one up you. You can have barrel picks from Ghost Hunters.
Oh.
So ghost hunters can go on the barrel
What
picks.
do they know about bourbon?
Well, that's...
We're going to find out.
Yeah, you'll find out.
I think that sounds like fun.
That sounds like a great time.
Well, actually, I know a bourbon drinker who used to be a ghost hunter, so...
Well, there we go.
do
We have our
you?
business
Overlap.
partner.
Do you?
Yes.
Trademark. Don't steal our idea. We're doing it. It'll be like, and you could do like zombie prep days and stuff. It would just be fun, even though they're not spirits. It's still in the same world, right?
Drunk
Weird
zombie
stuff.
prep day.
Sure. Drunk zombie prep. Please don't build bourbon or bunkers while drunk.
I'll say right off the bat, I'm so happy to have started with the birthday bourbon and gone to this.
Yeah,
'cause
this is gonna be
incredible.
Wow.
That nose is so it's like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
It is, but I think it's also like really woody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's...
Like if you made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but with 2 pieces of bark.
2 pieces of new charred white oak
Yeah.
bark.
But peanut butter and jelly in the middle. Crunchy.
I'm also getting the maple and caramel
Oh,
type
I just
of
got the
hybrid.
just straight peanut. I just
Yeah.
got peanut. Real intense.
Within
yeah.
the first couple of sniffs, that's what it is for me. Take a real good sniff.
But then I
there.
get the sweetness of like where you're coming from with the jelly. That's a really good description.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Sarah.
Chad, you suck. No, I'm just kidding.
You guys just haven't gotten there yet.
Oh.
Whoa. Is that a threat?
I hugged him to make him feel better. Don't worry. He didn't like it, but yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
This is Kroger.
Yes.
I think peanut butter and jelly is exactly the way to describe it with the taste.
With like a peppered finish, and it's
A little
got
bit.
yeah. Huh, that's one of the more interesting Knob Creek single barrels that I think I've had.
Yeah.
But it's not like peanut butter like we've had some bottles of Noah's Mill.
Like I was gonna say no.
it's more like, well, it could be crunchy peanut
It's
butter.
crunchy peanut butter.
It's
That's what I
crunchy
was
peanut
gonna
butter. Because you're getting like if you're biting into a peanut.
The savoriness
Yeah, like
of
the
the
actual,
peanut
like, nuttiness.
without-
Yeah,
yeah.
not so much the butter, but like peanut and jelly.
Not the- yeah.
Sandwich.
That sounds kind of gross.
It does on bark.
Yeah. It's just
Disgusting.
you put a layer of jelly down and then you just place peanuts in the jelly and it holds it there and you slap on the other slice of bread. There you go. I don't like crunchy peanut butter, by the way. I'm just gonna say.
What?
I don't either.
Smooth all the
I don't
way.
either.
I don't think we can be together.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, it came down to that.
This has been a revelation of an episode so far. Goodness gracious.
I'm just kidding. We'll buy 2 jars and then I'll know that it was never you that finished the peanut butter. It was always me.
Yeah. Or the dog.
He wouldn't eat crunchy.
You're right. He's better than that.
Oh! Shots fired! Man. Do I need to leave?
This episode is over.
Shortest episode in history. All right.
If it wasn't for this bourbon, I'd be out of here. But
This isn't a podcast. This is
really
therapy.
nice. I like.
Yeah, but
that
how
a
does
lot.
that make you feel?
Well, this bourbon makes me feel great.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's got a great finish. Kind of hangs around in the mouth. Hasn't really. Well, it's starting to migrate down into my chest.
Yeah,
You know,
it is
the-
for me,
The
for sure.
120 proof is definitely doing it. But man, yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
I agree. They did something right with this one, I think.
Yeah.
So we are scoring these. Right?
Oh, we're doing
Are
our.
we? Are we? I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, we don't have to.
This one's gonna be hard for me to score because I feel like I'm gonna be like 4, 5, 5, 4, 5, 3, and they're all gonna be like 15 and plus.
Well, let's just. I
Maybe
mean,
we can do it just for the hell of it, Perry.
just for content's sake. No,
So,
we don't have to. I mean,
now remind me of your categories. I need an acronym. to
Nose,
remember
palate,
these.
finish, price. You got it right there from last time.
never pay for
Peanuts.
peanuts.
Oh my god.
No.
Never pay full price.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Dang.
Boom.
Except for that we do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time, and then some sometimes.
If only if it was an S and it could be secondary price. But it's not an S.
Well, what was the price?
Price was $45,
Nice.
and I think
I think that's
The only one that was not $45 was the Ernie's Pick, and that was $40.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is great for a barrel pick.
Yeah.
That's great for a Knob Creek single barrel in general. Let alone a barrel pick.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, what happened?
She can't do
the
both
Ernie's
at the same time.
The Ernie's Pick was $40 instead of $45.
Oh, but everything else was 45.
45. Yeah.
Okay.
Hide your answers. No cheating.
Don't look at mine.
Okay, so we all have our scores locked in. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay. And for anybody
Raise
who
his hand. First in class, sitting in the front row.
yes,
pick me.
Sarah. Hermione,
again.
put your hand down.
Yeah, seriously.
So for anybody who doesn't know, we have a 4-category review system of nose, palette, finish, and price. I just realized that in the acronym price is price. Yeah.
Hey, it works.
Whatever. Each category is out of 5. At the end, we tally it up to a total out of 20. And then what chat's doing? Are you just doing math for the sake of
No,
your
I'm
score?
actually thinking
Or
of
are you
a
reviewing my-
one where it's not price. Never pull fleshy piercings.
That's disgusting. I'm offended, actually. Like,
Okay, so
that's
whatever.
gross. No more acronyms. You're done. You are no longer allowed to create acronyms.
So
But he did provide the never pay full price one though.
yeah,
so.
we should stick with that. Don't ever try to do
quit
something
while you're
else.
ahead.
Ugh.
Okay, Sarah. So what's your score?
Gross.
Bourbon.
Okay. Well, I'll start with the nose. I gave it a 3.8, and that seems maybe like a little bit harsh to you, but I honestly did that because I wasn't as excited by the nose. Like, I didn't feel like it was as reflective as how good it does taste.
I like the way that you said that though, because it was almost condescending. Like that's gonna sound a little harsh to you, but
To your brain?
Yeah.
But
I didn't mean to. Is that how I sound all the time?
no.
no. Oh gosh, no.
You hate me.
This is a
Anyways.
lot of fun for people to listen to.
I basically just meant that the palate is wonderful and the nose isn't quite reflective of that.
I get that.
So I feel like the nose could be doing a little bit more to let you know how great it's going to
Sure.
taste.
Yeah.
So the palate I gave a 4.5 because I really, really like it. And I could drink this all the time and I would. The finish I gave a 4 because it's a little extra peppery for me, but I still like it. And the price I gave a 5 because if you can get 120 proof bourbon for $45 and it tastes this delicious
In
I think you
13
should-
years.
I think you should do it all day, all day,
All day, son.
all day. Keep buying it. I want one. Where did you get it? Kroger.
Kroger
I need
and,
that.
Kroger in Frankfurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need this.
Yeah.
So
It's
that's
doable.
Those are my thoughts and feelings.
Okay.
Word.
What was your total? Did you say?
Oh, sorry. My total was 17.3. I know, you think it's so funny. I can't round to the 5s because sometimes I have extra detailed opinions.
True.
Unlike you.
True.
Extra detailed.
Extra detailed
Cavemen.
opinions.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
I'll
I
take
just
it.
like easier math. So the nose, I did really enjoy, and I think I scored this high just because it was coming off of that birthday bourbon.
Yeah.
But I thought the nose was really great, so I actually gave that a 4.5. The palate I gave a 4, which I don't know. I was a little bit inverse from you, Sarah. I thought palate smelled really good. I was really getting that peanut and jelly sandwich
Between
nose.
2 pieces of bark.
Yeah. The finish I gave a
The dash
3.5.
behind me.
I gave that the lowest of the scores because I don't know, it didn't stick with me as long as I thought it could have.
We're of the same mind.
And then the price, I think 45 is a great price for this, so I gave it a 4. So overall that is a 16.
We have the same total score.
Wow.
I gave the nose a 4 because I do kind of agree with Sarah that it does provide some good stuff, but the palate is definitely superb if you're comparing the two. Excuse me. Palate was a 4.5 for me, or 4.5. I'm not going to do halves. I'm just going to do the 0.5s because then people are going to go. Anyway, thought it was fantastic. I agree. I wish that I could drink this more without it. I mean, I love the 120 proof, but I know that drinking 120 proof all the time is going to knock me on my butt very quickly. So,
It's fun.
yeah. Finish was a 3.5, and I actually agreed with you about the finish. That I wish it did go on a little bit longer. It's good. It's just, I want more. Want there to be more there. And then price was a 4 for me as well.
Can I just ask really quickly?
Sure.
Just for my own understanding of ranking, like I gave this price a 5 because I think you can't beat 120 proof bourbon for $45 that's 13 years old. What would it take for you guys to give a price of 5?
If that bottle was like $10 or $15 cheaper, it'd be like, that's just a value.
So it has
that
to
I
be
can't
an
pass up.
unrealistic deal in order for you to give it a 5.
Not unrealistic. Just like, take whatever the best bourbon is you've ever had. Like the William LaRue Weller or whatever.
Which I gave a 5.
It might
price.
be. And then give that to me for like $50 or even $60.
But see, that's never going to happen.
I know.
So that's a completely unrealistic scenario. So that's not even on the scale of what could actually happen.
Well, I will say though, with that bottle of Henry McKenna Bottle and Bond that Curtis and I loved so much, and that I brought over for you guys as well, I gave that a 5.
Okay, because you think for overall the normal value.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's what I think we should be going off of. Like, I mean, obviously we're going off of normal value, but there's just not ever going to be a scenario where you can say like, oh, this William LaRue Weller is a great value because I got it for $50. Like, that's not.
Well, it doesn't have to be that. It was something that tastes as good to you as that does.
Yeah.
But you said you gave that a 5, even though you paid normal price for it. Because it's so good that it's worth it.
It's so good.
So that's what I think it should be like. Not that it should be cheaper to make it more worth it, just that like how good it is for the price that it is.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just questioning
Well,
because
for this $45 one, if it tasted better, if it had a longer finish, if it had more of a palate for me, then I would have probably given it a 5.
I would have done the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm just saying, like, if it's a great bourbon, but it's $60 and you think it should only be $25, like, I'm just curious of how you're ever going to get to the 5.
Right.
Is it possible for a bourbon that exists today, if it's not on sale, to be a 5?
Sure.
So and that's all I was asking.
I mean, like I said, I have given 5s before.
Okay.
On the show.
I just wanted to make sure that I understood how we were going on this, and I do.
We're all on the trolley. Yeah. So which one do you want to do next?
Fallen off yet. I think I want to do the House of Bourbon.
Okay.
One next. And I'm doing them in the order that I had bought them.
Now, wasn't this one a little bit more expensive?
Was it?
I think it was like at least 50. I know.
Oh, was it like 52?
I think it was 50. 52, something like that.
Or it might have been 50 before tax.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was 50.
We'll call it 50.
We'll call it
That's
50.
fine. Okay. I just realized we haven't done any of the topic yet, so maybe we'll shelve that for...
The topic?
Oh, yeah, the
price.
topic.
Okay, so we'll just talk about it a little bit.
Well, we were just talking about price.
Oh, well, that's a good point. And I think maybe what we should do is specifically talk about the Old Forester 11-year Bottled and Bond, because Chad and I had very similar reactions to the price of it. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, and I'd be surprised if he didn't at this point, Heaven Hill announced the other day that they were releasing an 11-year version of Old Fitzgerald Bottled and Bond, which is, of course, 100 proof and all that stuff. But they're pricing it at $110 a bottle. And Chad brought up the good point that for what would we say?
$30?
Yeah, for $30, for $80 less than that, you can get Henry McKenna Bottled and Bond.
For one year less. Yeah.
For 1 year less.
For 1 year less.
But have you seen how sexy that new bottle is?
I have, and I do love that bottle.
Yeah.
I mean, I want one just to say that I just want one, and then whatever.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I'm still gonna buy it.
But I hear what you're saying. Like, again, and even the Stop Creek, you get a 13-year.
Yeah.
For
exactly.
$45.
Yeah.
Like,
And a higher proof, too.
right.
Yeah.
Is it about the age or the fact that it's a limited edition? And what makes it limited edition? Because you can get a limited edition, quote, single barrel bottle of someone's pick, or you can get something that's in a fancy bottle that says limited edition, and it's just because they want to charge more for
Well,
it.
let's think about what else is priced at $110 on the bourbon shelf.
I mean,
The BTAC collection.
right.
Yeah.
Which is, okay, I'm going to say BTAC because if I say BTAC collection, it's the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection.
Yeah,
You're
it's the
repetitive.
BTAC. Yeah.
It's
Repetitive
like-
is your business.
It's like saying the ATM machine.
Right.
the hot water heater. Why would you need to heat hot water?
ASAP as possible.
ASAP as possible.
I love that one. Wow. The podcast about redundancy podcast.
Well, the Knob Creek 25th anniversary was like hovering around 120.
Mm-hmm. The Master's Keep from Wild Turkey, I think, is around 110, 120.
Michter's 10-year was a little over 100, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, they're limited release, and they're around that age range, I feel like.
Isn't Widow Jane like $90?
Mm-hmm. And all the barrel bourbons are $90 too.
$90.
Yeah.
So, Ocean Cast Strength is 100 to 110.
About 100. Yeah.
Depending on where you buy it.
I mean, okay, so I don't think that's outrageous. I think it's definitely more than I would want to spend on a regular basis. But for something that's limited and something that I know that I like their other products, I'm okay with it.
Right.
Willing to spend that to get at least one bottle. But, like, look at wine. People pay, like, $500 for a bottle of wine, and you get 4 glasses out of it. I mean, so people are super upset about having to pay over $100 for a bourbon, which, first of all, you don't have to. That's up to you. Yeah. Second of all, look at wine.
It's a good point.
You know?
Well, here's my thing about it. I think it's just a product of the, the bourbon boom and the supply and demand. Not so much supply and demand, because there's still, it might not be the bottle of bourbon you want to get, but there's plenty of bourbon out there for you to get.
Sarah's gonna fall asleep.
Sorry, I yawned.
The fact that it's Old Fitzgerald, which is kind of become a bottom shelf brand of their own doing. Now there's an 11-year of a bottom shelf brand, and they're going to charge 110 for it. You know, it's like Weller, which is now super coveted, but if you're going by MSRP, you have Special Reserve, should be around $20. You have Antique 107, which should be around 25, 26, right? And then
At most.
And then 12-year, a year older than this Fitz, for $30, right?
Also a weeded.
Also all wheated.
Yeah.
So it's like, the perfect example. Special Reserve is a bottom shelf,
Yeah.
$20, $19 used to be, and it was literally on the bottom shelf, 6-year-old, for $20. And then they have a 6-year of the same at a higher proof, and then they have their 12-year-old. But it's not even double the price,
Yeah.
So now here is, you can get Old Fitzgerald Prime for $10. They're bottled in bond, which you can still find some here and there, around $15. 4-year, $15, but now discontinued. But here's an 11-year, and all of a sudden it's $130.
Yeah.
It's like, how does that factor in? Is it because it's weeded, and that seems to be the craze because Pappy's weeded? Why? It's a bottom shelf brand, again, of their making. So that's where I get really hung up. It's like, why?
No, I definitely get that.
I agree. I see what you're saying. Why is because they can. They can make money off of it because people like me are like, I want that. I see it and I'm like, I want just one. Will it probably be the best thing I ever had? No, but I would be sad if I didn't have it at the end of the day. Like if it was limited and it went away and I didn't have it. But I agree with what you're saying. What's so special about what's inside? And probably not that much.
And if we try it, when's it coming out? And like
I think
April?
they said a spring and fall of every year for the next 5 years.
So if we try it at $110 and we go, okay, this is great. This is BTAC level. Then I can understand the price. But if we get it and we try it and we're like
it's really solid, but
it's the but the
Then don't buy it anymore. The next time it comes out, just don't buy it.
that's a fair point.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, do you really want to spend $110 up front to find out that it's not that great?
Yeah. And this is going to be a really interesting experiment too, I think, for Heaven Hill in the spring to see how people respond to it. Because it could either be great and people will fight for it the way that they do BTAC in the fall, or people are going to want to spend their money on BTAC in the fall and leave the old Fitz in the dust.
I mean, they've already got Parker's Heritage, comes out once a year, and it's like $120.
Yeah.
And actually, this last year was an 11 year.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
You know, and that's Parker Beam. He's not even alive anymore. That's. But I don't know. I'm a fan of Old Fitzgerald and I always have been, so I'm definitely interested.
Yeah, I guess my thing is like I'd rather spend $110 on that than spend $70 to $80 on one of these new craft bourbons that think that they're awesome, but their bourbon's only like 2 or 3 years old.
If that.
And I'm just like. And they want $70 or $80 for it, and I'm
because
like,
they have to charge that.
Right, and I understand why they have to charge that, but I think that, I get it from the business side, but I think for the industry side, that really hurts them because then we're trained to believe that craft bourbon that's $70 or $80 is a waste of money and not very good because it's only 2 or 3 years old, probably, when that's probably not true about all of them. Right. So I would rather spend my money on something like that, which I think is more of a staple, more well-known, more established, and is at least a decent product, most likely.
Yeah. And, yeah, I think that's a good point, too, is that we are expecting it to be good quality. Mm-hmm. Now, whether or not, the expectations warrant a $110 price tag, that's to be seen.
Sure.
I mean, we are, it's possible that we're having this conversation a little bit prematurely.
Right. Well, and it's entirely possible that, MSRP is $110, but people want $180 for it. Yeah. In which case I would be like, the more it goes up, the more I'm like, well, I don't need that.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, what's remind me of the proof? Oh, shut up, Chad. It's bottled and bond. My God.
I was like, is it a riddle?
Sorry.
Drink some more of this bourbon. This smells really good. The second one.
You must answer 3 questions.
What is your favorite color?
Monty
green.
What is your quest?
We're back to Monty
Python. I seek the Holy Grail.
So Chad made a face about this next. We went ahead and poured the House of Bourbon pick. Chad kind of made a face about the nose on this one.
I don't know. I'm kind of struggling to figure out what it is. Sometimes I go in, I get like a perfume. Sometimes I get more of just like an allspice.
For me, I get like overwhelmingly chocolate.
I'm not getting the peanuts of the other one.
See, the peanuts are still there a little bit for me. Not as
I get a little bit of
peanut.
But... Actually, so it's funny. I get a little bit of everything you said. If there were such a thing as a chocolate-covered peanut drizzled with caramel and sprinkled with allspice, that's what I would smell.
I'm sure they make that.
I get that too.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's got to be a thing. Somebody made that.
Somebody has to. It's called a Take 5.
It's called a $100,000.
It just has a little bit of all those things in there, but I do get the chocolate.
I don't smell a whole lot of the oak on it though, which is interesting to me for 120 proof.
I guess I can get in 13
years. If
I search for the nut, I can get it, but it's a different type of nut. Like the last one is peanut. I think this one might be more like an almond or something.
That's
fair.
It's a whole nut.
Yeah, it's just a different type of nut. But let's dive in.
Yeah.
Oh, wow! This one bites.
It's got some spice on it.
I was gonna say there's a lot more heat on that.
Spice.
I like it though.
Because on the back end, as the finish kind of starts to roll over the tongue, you start to it explodes a little bit, and you do start to get some of those flavors.
And this one goes darker.
Oh,
now I'm getting that chocolate that you're smelling. Mm-hmm. I'm getting it. Yeah, a dark cocoa.
It's a dark chocolate. Yeah.
You love dark chocolate, dark caramel.
I like it when it goes dark.
What is dark caramel? Can you tell me?
Just like a burnt, like if you took a barrel and you rubbed caramel in it.
Ew, it would get all... You'd get splinters.
It'd be so sticky.
Yeah, and you'd be sticky.
It's sticky and charcoal-y.
I need to understand more about what is dark caramel because I don't know enough.
I will say, I don't think this one's going to score as high as the last one, but...
Well, I am enjoying how the finish is going on longer, and it is going into my chest, this one. Last one didn't.
It's super warm, really toasted, spicy. Hot.
Oh,
like this is one of those ones where I pretend when I breathe out at the end, like if I was a dragon, I'd breathe fire.
Thoughtful grunts, the podcast. Joke half taken from Tanner, but anyway. I don't know. This one's. I think this one for me is a little bit more complex.
Yeah.
It's almost taking like too much time to figure out.
It's got kind of a maple syrup quality to it, both in the feel
Yeah,
and
I agree.
In the taste.
The feel and the taste.
Yeah.
Wow. Hot take.
My ears even feel hot, like in cartoons when the steam comes out. Of their ears.
I get that too.
Is that weird? I feel like my ears, the insides of my ears are actually hot. Okay, if I'm doing my math correctly, and I think that I am.
Might not be.
Well, I'm better at math than you two, so.
It's true.
You are not wrong. I just do it differently than everybody else.
All right, I got my score.
Yeah, I'm good too.
I think I have my score.
Chad, you want to go ahead and go first?
Sure. Nose, I scored it a full point less than the last one because, again, it maybe it is that complexity. It was kind of, if you went looking for a certain thing on the nose, you could probably find it.
That's a really interesting
Yeah, but nothing,
take on that.
like I smelled this thing about 10 times.
Yeah.
And almost each time I got something different.
Mm-hmm.
Once I thought I had my nose on it, it threw me for a loop. Now, not to say that complex noses are bad, but it was too much of a thinker for me when I was looking just for a blockbuster.
He doesn't like to think.
So I gave it a 3.5. Palette, I scored it the same as the other one. I scored them both a 4. There was things I liked differently about both. What I liked about this one was its forwardness and how it kind of kicked you. I enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
The finish, I gave it half a point higher than the last one. I gave it a 4 because I got more of the chest feels, more of that Kentucky hug. And then the price, since it is a little bit more expensive, I gave it a 3.5. So overall, I'm at a 15.
Cool.
1 point less than the last one.
Yeah. Sarah, do you want to go or you want me to go?
Sure, I'll go ahead and go.
Go for it.
Opposite from you, I gave the nose a 4 because I really enjoyed all those different, like, really interesting, the allspice, the chocolate, the nutty, on the nose. Thought it was nice and pleasant. I wasn't expecting all the spice on the palate, so I gave the nose a 4. I also gave the palate a 4. I liked it. I didn't love it as much as I liked the previous one, but it was still really tasty. Finish 4, same as the last one. And then for price, I gave it a 4 also. So there's 4s across the board. I would have given it a 4.5, but it's $5 more. So
Yeah, exactly.
you know, it's good. It's really good, solid. So overall, I got a 16 because that's what 4 times 4 is.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. This is your math lesson for the day. Yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. I think for $50, it's a solid bourbon. A good pick. Really nice and interesting. But I'm just really loving that Kroger pick.
Yeah, I am too, and I'll go ahead and spoil it. We all three have scored the House of Bourbon pick lower than the Kroger one. Nose for me was a 3.5. It kind of frustrated me. I mean, as we kind of established, there's just so much to think about with it, and I want to dive in and know what's happening. It should be that one. What do they say on it?
The final bourbon?
Finale.
The finale bourbon.
Oh, the finale bourbon.
And they had a sign in the store that said
The Fin Ale bourbon?
The final E bourbon.
Finally, a bourbon!
They had a sign near this pick that was like, "You'll want this to be the last drink of the night." It's like, okay.
This one? Oh, the finale?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sounds sexual.
It's the final bourbon.
Thanks. Palate was a 3.5 for me. I didn't like how much heat was on it. Oh no.
I'll take that. Thank you.
Okay. Got a little liberal there on the pour.
It's all good.
It slipped.
I just wish that there had been less heat, more of the overall flavors. 4.5.
4.5.
4.5 on the finish because I thought the finish was just spectacular. Chad's not sure he's going to make it through the rest of this episode based on the pour that has now gotten traded around 3 times.
I'm already home, so...
That's what
that's
I figured
true.
when
That's
I gave it back to
I guess that makes sense.
And then price for me was a 3. For everything else to be is kind of like, I won't say subpar, but not up to snuff as I would like for it to be. $50 is just a little too much, I think. So overall, I gave it a 14.5 out of 20.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Scathing. I'm just kidding.
Scathing.
I'm trying to be more critical in my
Yeah, I understand.
drinking, but anyway, so I guess we're gonna move on to the last of the 3 pours.
And this is from where now?
This is from Ernie's Spirits in Lexington, over off at the corner of Lane Allen and Harrodsburg. Go check them out. And this is again, this is a $40 pick of Knob Creek 13-year.
This one has like a lighter, sweeter, more fruity floral nose than the other two.
Yeah, for sure.
That's so funny because
be more of the syrup type smell.
The nose is so different now, and this has opened up quite a bit actually since we opened the bottle, because I brought it over here to open it. And remember when we first opened it, it was on the nose like nothing but caramel. Like a kind of aggressively caramel, and I'm not really getting
that
I'm not
anymore.
getting it at all. Well,
I'm intrigued.
We'll see how the palates change.
Weird.
Puzzled looks all around.
It had like it hit the throttle for like a second in the middle.
Yeah.
It really ramped up, but then it really pulled back. And now
But I'm starting to get more of the caramel now.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of the oak.
I'm getting a lot of oak.
I stand by what I said.
You're wrong. You're wrong, Colonel Sanders.
He did. I know we're cross-referencing here.
Crocodiles don't smile because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush.
Billy Madison?
No. Close. Right actor.
Happy Gilmore.
Right actor still. Wrong movie. And she showed me her boobies and I liked them.
Waterboy.
Yeah.
I was thinking alligator because that's how the guy got his hand bit off.
All right.
You know?
That would be Happy Gilmore.
Yep.
Chubs.
I don't know, you guys. I'm not as pleased with this one as I was when we first opened it.
Now, is it because it's the third one? We never know.
Yeah.
It's a little bit drier of a finish.
Yeah.
Than I kind of like.
It's a little dry. It's.
But also kind of, that same kind of like
The
chocolate.
sweetness.
I'll just go ahead and say it's not bad. I don't think it's bad
No,
by
I don't
any
think so either.
measure, but compared to the ones we just had, is it meeting the same standards?
I would say no.
I would agree with you on that. The nose isn't my favorite. Palate's not my favorite. I will still say, though, well, I'll wait till you score to give you my feedback.
Your hot take.
Yeah.
It's weird. I got some of the corn that time on the nose. I mean, just kind of a hint of it, but
It's spicy, though. It is spicy.
almost like the last one, maybe a little too spicy. Sorry for some less than engaging conversation here.
Yeah,
We're all kind of
thinking very
struggling with
hard.
this one.
This one's a thinker.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I have an answer.
I'm approaching an answer. This is really. I'm almost frustrated with the amount of thought that I have to put into this.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, it's not. I brought the bourbon.
You know what is fun? Drinking 320 proof bourbons in a row after you had 2 other ones. And 1 warm-up one at home. It's really fun. Mom, I hope you're not listening. She's still mad at you, Chad, for making me take those shots.
Aww.
Is
Those
she
half-ounce shots?
Yeah, she really is. I've been scolded several times. Listen, kids. If you don't want your mom to yell at you, don't put a video of you taking shots on Instagram. She won't like it.
It was in a controlled environment, and we're professionals. Don't try this at home.
And they were
Closed
half-ounce
course.
pours.
She still don't like
They were half-ounce pours
closed course.
of an 86 proof. I mean,
She doesn't understand that.
educate her. You're her daughter.
That means nothing. Educate her?
Yeah.
There's no reasoning with this woman.
Man, you really better hope she's not listening to
She's a
this
delight.
episode.
She's a delight.
I love her.
She's wonderful.
She makes a great breakfast casserole.
Yes.
I am a sucker for a good breakfast casserole. That is...
I can make that now.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. That's what I almost literally wake up for in the morning. Lucy, if you're listening, I also wake up for you.
I'll send you my breakfast casserole recipe so he wakes up for you and breakfast casserole.
Please.
Yeah.
It involves a thick layer of crescent rolls, which is wonderful.
Oh, that's my dream. It's my dream right there.
Yowzas. Yeah.
It's like porn or
Yeah.
something.
I'm gonna
We
need that.
both just got so excited.
Gonna need that soon.
Anyways, that's just the non-break talking.
Yeah.
But
Why don't you go first, Perry?
Yeah,
Unless you're still scoring.
I'm going... No, I just had a total.
Okay.
dang, y'all are brutal.
Yeah, I know.
He's
I
more
just-
brutal.
I'm just going to get into it.
Okay, let's get into it. Why don't you go first
Let's
this
do
time?
it. So I gave the nose a 3. And again, kind of for the same reasons from the House of Bourbon pick. Where it was... I just was fighting so hard to find something in there. And, I mean, I liked what I smelled, but there was just there was too much, I think. Palate was a 3.5. It was fine.
Mm-hmm.
It was good, but it just I wish that I don't know. I'm honestly a little bummed because I loved this one. I loved it so much, and
And now all your dreams are crushed.
now my dreams are horribly
what
horribly
happened?
crushed. I don't know.
We stomped all over them. That's what happened.
That's what happens when I come to chats.
I mean,
Bring your dreams. We'll stomp them.
obviously a thing to do and to keep note of is tomorrow or the next time you have a bourbon, try this one first and see if it differs in any way to how you're rating it now. See if these other bourbons just affected your palate in a way that is unbeneficial.
True, and I mean it could be because like I'd been saying, we got so much caramel on it the first time. It could have been that the caramel just got like kicked off my palate from all the other extreme caramels we've
Yeah.
had.
Yeah.
Finish was a 2.5 for me.
Wow.
Yeah. The dryness and the lingering heat is what really knocked that down for me. And then price after all that was still a 3.5 because it is still 13 years. It is still 120 proof. It's $40. And I think that if you are looking to try something different or new, it's still an opportunity for you to not shell out a whole lot of money for something like this. You okay?
Yeah.
Last episode,
Burned my
you
throat.
had a little choking spell.
Sometimes I inhale the bourbon instead of drink it. It's just one of those things that I do.
It's like that episode of Parks and Rec where they go to the bar where it's like all the weird ways of ingesting alcohol.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like the vodka shots,
It's
a
a
flash of
flash.
light.
Yeah.
It's a Scotch lotion.
Scotch infused lotion.
Yeah.
What a great show.
I think we've talked about that more today than
Yes, yes, yes. we have.
almost more than bourbon. Anyway, so my total was a 12 out of 20.
That's scathing. No, I'm just kidding.
So,
Not
well,
really.
I mean, it's
I'm kidding. I
it's
say
harsh.
that because no, it's not. I mean, it's fair. Fair enough.
and I'm trying to be fair with it
Sure,
too.
sure.
So anyway, so who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
I gave the nose at 3.5 for a lot of the same reasons that you gave it a 3. I think I just literally probably gave almost the exact same scores or a half step up from your scores for this whole thing because I felt bad. Not that I felt bad. I tried to be honest. But yeah, so I gave the nose a 3.5 because like you said, just not a ton going on there. Same thing with the palate, 3.5. Didn't hate it, didn't love it. It's good, but I don't... It's just all right. Middle of the road for me. Yeah, fine. It's fine.
This is fine.
This is fine. Finish, I gave a 3 because I wasn't wild about that. And then price, I gave it a 4. You gave it a 3.5. But again, like you for the same reasoning, it is still 120 proof bourbon that is at least 9 years old for $40.
Yeah.
And it's decent. It's good.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Just in comparison to these other two, it doesn't quite hold up.
Yeah,
Sure.
I agree.
So I pretty much did the same as Sarah, except
Copycat.
the last one. So the nose, 3.5. I was still kind of, searching for something, didn't know, but I still enjoyed it. The palate is also a 3.5. I thought it was decent. It was strong, but it could have done a lot more for me. The finish I gave a 3, which has been the lowest score of my finish in these 3 so far. It's just it went to the dryness killed it, and it wasn't a nice Kentucky hug, like the others. Price I gave a 3.5, and that's just because it was $40 instead of $50. I didn't take into account that it's 13-year, it's 120 proof. For me, price just comes down to the level of enjoyment I had drinking it.
Sure.
Versus the price. And I still think I enjoyed it enough for $40 to give it a 3.5.
Fair.
Yeah. So 13.5 is my total for that one. My lowest score.
Fair enough.
I just went back to the Kroger one because I wanted to see it. I mean,
I
went back. I went backwards.
I'm saving it back for the end.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm working my way back that way.
And the Kroger one, it's so good. It's definitely the best of the 3.
It's so good.
It's
Oh my God, Chad! Look at that giant pancake. That's so funny.
So funny.
He can't flip that. That's so big. Oh, that's so funny.
That again is the second time that y'all that we made that reference on the show.
Oh really?
Yeah, because the first time y'all
Oops.
were on, we made that reference.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I do like that reference. Who doesn't like Mandy Moore? Come on.
True that.
Says the guy who's in love with her. Mandy Moore, if you're listening, you have a fan.
You have a
And
big
she
fan
is.
in Lexington, Kentucky.
If you like bourbon, come visit. Actually, don't. Stay away.
He's mine.
Yeah.
The House of Bourbon one tastes 10 to 15 proof points higher.
I agree.
It does have a certain heat. I actually, after going to the Ernie's pick, going back to the House of Bourbon pick, I like it a little bit more, I think. It's still a little too spicy.
Yeah.
I like the spice, but it's a little too peppery for me.
Yeah, I agree.
But I appreciate the heat, and like you said, it feels like 120, upper 120s to 130.
Yeah, 130, 135.
I could totally, if you told me that, I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think should make the value more, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's all about,
Look, it's all subjective.
Sure,
Yeah.
right?
Like I
It'll
said,
get you drunk the same as the other one. So.
like I said to Chad recently, it's not a perfect system.
Yeah, I just went back. I did them in the opposite direction. And the Kroger pick seems to have the best parts of these others. It's like the 3 bears, and this is, the baby bear. This is the one that's just right.
Just right.
No, that's the middle bear.
The Papa Bear was too hot. The Mama Bear was
Bear's
too cold. Baby Bear was just right. The porridge.
Okay, whatever you say. I thought one bed was too big, one bed was too small, but
It was
the
too
middle one
hard,
was
too
just right.
soft, and the baby
I thought
bear.
it was too big.
I just wasn't paying attention as
How's
a
a bed
child.
gonna be too big for you? Oh, I can't sleep in this. It's too big.
That's true.
Goldilocks.
I didn't even think about that until just now.
It's comfortable as hell, but it's so big. I just
This
can't.
bed is too big. I'm mad.
No, too hard, too soft, and
I'm a
just
little
right.
too comfortable. In
Yes.
this
Porridge
bed.
is too hot. What kind of dummy eats
This
their porridge
porridge is too
cold?
delicious.
Shut up, Chad. Quit being right.
Never.
Okay, so anyway, out of the 3, what would you guys be? Good guys. What would you guys be more likely to recommend?
Kroger.
Krogo.
Crochet.
Crochet.
Old Croger.
I want to know who does the Kroger picks because I want to be their friend.
That would be Tim, I think.
Tim. What's up, Tim?
So,
My good
his
buddy.
friends
Tim.
know him as
It's Tim.
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 Third Monty Python reference.
Tim, I'd like to meet you.
Yes.
Take
I-
You may call me
Tim. That's what I just said. He
I
didn't.
know.
Even... All right, thank you.
Take me with you.
But we know one of their managers.
Take me
Swan.
with you.
That's right.
So
I want to go on a
Yeah.
pick, please.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes.
Just say yes.
Just say yes. Tim.
No, you say yes more.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
I'm a little lost, but that's
All
okay.
right.
So anyway, we recommend this Kroger pick over the other two. But anyway, so we're gonna move into the famous segment, tips and bits.
Tips and bits.
Tips and
Daggone.
Bits. Chad's like, I don't have anything to recommend.
I
I
don't
don't
have
like
any
anything. He's looking around his basement like,
bits.
what's done?
I recommend couches. They're wonderful to sit on.
Now remind
Chad,
me,
are you
this
just
is
naming things in your
this is like the
I recommend
any
lamp.
the anything.
anything?
Yes, the
Yes.
anything thing.
Oh, okay. I have some things.
Okay. Recommend some things.
We're talking just like
Anything.
I know I talked about this last time. Okay, I've been watching The Alienist on TNT. I really like that show.
Okay.
It's really good if you like shows about serial killers, which
Who's
I
in
do.
that? Who's in that show?
Dakota Fanning and Luke Evans.
Luke
I think
Evans.
his
That's
name
who I
is.
was
Yeah.
thinking of. Okay.
If you like shows about people getting murdered, which I do, and I like to watch before I go to bed when I'm alone because it makes me feel really secure and safe, then that is a show for you. That was gross.
Yeah, that was awful.
Very sorry.
Also, I've been watching the rest of Parks and Recreation because I never finished it in the beginning, and so now I'm on season 6 of 7, and I'm getting very sad because it's almost over.
You know
But it's hilarious
happening.
and super quotable, and I like it a lot.
Yes.
It's a great show.
So
And you like Chris Pratt even when he's Chris Fat.
I did.
Ooh.
He's still funny and cute.
I mean, I don't blame you.
Fun
tell you-
side
I'm
note,
just
he used to
pointing
be
it
on
out.
this family drama TV show even before Parks and Rec called Everwood, which is a very obscure show.
Everwood, I've heard of that.
think I have heard of it
That
too,
some
yeah.
people have heard of, but
CW?
most people, yes, on CW, that most people haven't
Interesting.
seen. And he plays the, older brother that plays basketball, but is really just a screw up and a goof.
Right.
And he's very
Oh,
endearing.
big stretch for him.
Endearing and charming.
He's none of
and
those
funny as a young teen or mid-teens person. But yeah, I like that
Is he
show
chunky
too.
in that one too?
A little.
Yeah, a little chunky.
But I still loved him even when he was, and I hope he's listening.
He is, no doubt. No.
I got my favorite. I think my favorite scene in Parks and Rec, or my favorite Chris Pratt scene is when he shows up to Leslie's house or to Anne's house, butt naked.
Oh yeah, trench coat. Yeah.
And they didn't have that planned.
Oh.
And Amy Poehler's reaction is like 100% real because she wasn't expecting to open the door and there was Chris Pratt hanging brain.
There was Chris's Pratt.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's funny. So what do you
okay.
guys like? What have you guys been doing?
I'll recommend it.
Let me tell ya.
A channel on YouTube. Actually, revisited it today after having not been on it in a while. Called Every Frame a Painting.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's this. I think it's 2 or 3 people who do it, but it's just one guy. It's all narration, but it's a lot about just observations in movies. Like he did one like how Edgar Wright edits movies. You know,
Oh, that's cool.
and the one I watched today was about the Marvel Cinematic Universe's music scores. And he went around and
Very cool.
he asked people on the street, hum anything from Star Wars, and everyone could hum Star Wars.
Sure.
Hum anything from James Bond, and everyone could do that. You know, da, da, da. And then hum anything from the Marvel movies, and not a single person
Not a
could
soul.
do it.
Yeah.
And he talked about how it's so generic and safe, and there's nothing memorable about Marvel movie scores. And then how, and I didn't realize this, how the practice today when directors sit on the edit and they tell the editor to put a already produced piece of music in there from like a movie a year or however, you know, just another soundtrack in there as a temp. Mm-hmm. And then when it goes to the composer, by this time they could have been watching this movie with this temp music for like a year.
So it's stuck in
and
their
it's
head.
stuck.
Yeah.
It's adhered, and they're like, just make it like this temp, make it like this song. Mm-hmm. And he played the temp to what ended up in the movie for like a bunch of different movies, and they sound so similar.
Really?
Yeah, so similar. Like one even like sued him.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
You know, for copyright. Like,
Wow.
no, this is too similar. But it's like, in composers are just like, I hate when they say, just make it sound like the temp. because that just cuts their legs out from under them.
Yeah.
And like they're killing creativity.
What a bummer.
By
Man, I just got really sucked into your story. I was like hanging on the edge of your words.
What have we been talking about?
Are we doing a thing about bourbon? What's going on?
Yeah, so you should go watch it. It's called Every Frame a Painting.
When you first said that, I was like, ooh, Bob Ross.
Yeah. I think it comes from the George Lucas quote, when in cinema, every frame should stand alone as a picture. Like if you pulled that out as a still, it should be able to be like framed and put on the wall and be like, wow, that's a really compelling, the composition and everything.
Oh, that's
so every frame a painting.
Well, I learned
24
something
frames
new
a
today.
second.
And now I'm going to be up all night watching those videos.
Yeah. Check it out.
Thanks,
really,
Chad.
really good stuff.
I am going to recommend a band out of Chicago. They're called The Main Squeeze. They're a funk band. They are fantastic. They're funktastic.
They're
Yeah.
funktastic. The Main Squeeze?
The Main Squeeze. I'm not a big, I don't listen to a whole lot of funk music or anything, but these guys are just incredibly talented. And they're on YouTube, of course. Some of their covers are incredible. I found one cover of Whipping Post by Allman Brothers Band. I don't know if you guys listen much. Okay. That's really, really good. But anyway, check them out. I'm also going to have to recommend, of course, Strangers Pray at Night, Emma's movie that's coming out next month. You give me a couple weeks, you won't have to hear me talk about it.
I want to watch it, but I can't go watch it.
Yeah.
It's only a couple weeks away, March 9th.
You'll tell me about it again before then.
Oh, I definitely will.
Oh,
Yes,
we'll be
we
in
will
New
continue.
Orleans. Boo.
You can still see it.
I mean, we'll see it after we get back.
So Chad's now reached back to the...
Pour some water in one of those glasses.
Okay. I don't have much left, but it's enough to...
Oh, is that just him? Or?
Yeah, it's just him. You've already had this.
I don't even know what it is.
It's a secret.
We've had so many things. I don't know what that
I like
is.
the way that this goes. Is usually there's one surprise at the end of these episodes. Okay, I think at least enough of the water out of it.
Yeah, it's good enough.
Okay, good deal. Oh, I'm excited. Oh, that. I bet you I know.
What it is.
I bet you I know what this. Is it a scotch?
I don't know. Is it?
No, I don't know. I'm gonna find out.
Wish you could see his face, you guys. It's so funny. It's all squinched up.
What is that, Chad?
Hold on.
No, I have to compare the two.
No.
Okay.
He's like, please don't make me anymore.
I don't want to drink more
So far,
scotch.
this has been the least objectionable
Really
that we've had. This is you're gonna have to pronounce it.
Oh, I think it's Glenmorangie?
Glenmorangie.
I think that sounds right. Glenmorangie.
Original.
Okay.
It was the least offensive to us, but it seems extremely offensive to you.
I don't get it.
It's a Highland Scotch.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't get it.
Well, if you want, I'll give you the next one up, and you'll see
why that one's the best
why
one.
that one's the least.
Okay.
He's gonna do it, everybody.
I'm gonna do it.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it, everybody.
I listened recently to last episode that you guys were on, and your little it's poop.
It's poop.
That was him, and he's so stupid.
I'm trying to process this.
I'm trying to get to a place where I can at least appreciate it. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to pick up a glass of scotch and be like, I like this.
Yeah.
This tastes good to me. But I would like to get to the point where I appreciate it. And so far, that is the one I can appreciate the most. But what's really sad is that...
I thought it tasted very bland and
yeah,
watery and just like...
So that's why it's sad, because that's
the least
what
objectionable.
That's what we find is the most appreciable or whatever.
It's just because it's so tame.
It's so tame. It has like less scotch flavor. Pear looks like he's gonna cry. It's the least scotch flavored of all the scotches we've tried. So I think that just means we don't like scotch.
I'm so sorry to the scotch test dummies too. I think it's who sent these to you. Right.
Well, these are actually from our friend James.
Oh, okay. I thought this was.
But
Scotch
we were
Test
using
Dummies.
the Scotch Test Dummies coins to seal in.
They sent
Gotcha.
us some stuff
Okay.
too, but we're just kind of working our way through the scotches.
We've got those to try next.
It's my goal to try every one that they send, and then at the end
will.
of that, I feel like if I can still say, you know what, I just don't think scotch is for me, I think people should respect that, and please don't make me drink anymore.
This one smells more like a bourbon.
Okay.
I think I got that too whenever I smelled it.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you'll
But
like
I do
it
kind
more.
of smell like. It's really specific, like lemon cleaner or something. Too. I don't.
Give me that real quick.
Now, I will say, we've been doing a lot of the rye
You see what I'm
flights
saying?
lately, and I've been trying the higher rye ryes, and I think I'm getting more used to that. It's just something that's a flavor profile I'm not used to.
Ooh. I kind of like that.
You
You
like
like
that
that?
better?
I do actually like that a little better.
Was that the 10 or the 11?
10. So that's the Glenmorangie
Glenmorangie?
Nectar Dior.
Yeah.
Nectar.
Dior.
Yeah. Dior?
Door.
Ah, Nectar Dior.
Dior.
I guess it is
Spanish
Dior.
for
It's
a
not
whale's
D-I-O-R.
It's
vagina.
not. It's like dope, but it's like door.
Dior. Dior.
Oh, okay.
Dior.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I
kind of like it.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not horrible.
Well, I
but
wish we'd saved some of the 12 or the 11. I mean, because it was the lasagna,
Lasanta.
lasanta.
Lasagna.
Because it was
This is lasagna scotch.
rad. It was.
Can you taste the cottage
wasn't
cheese?
Bad. It was the most scotchy of all of them, and that's why
Yes.
we didn't like it.
Yes. Oh, by the way, I had a request from James. When we get to the one that he said try very last, he would like for us to film it. Not to put on air, but
Just
just
to
for
send it to
he
him.
could.
Well, we should just Google Hangouts with
watch
him,
us, yeah.
and then just do it that way.
Yeah.
That would be fun. We could do
Apparently,
that
it's
real
going to
easy.
be interesting.
Scary, interesting,
Yeah,
or
it's scary, interesting.
That
was.
funny.
I actually liked the second one a little bit.
Okay.
Better. So.
See, that's the reaction that I'm looking for in me. To be like, oh, you know what? That's not bad. And I think I could drink this.
I
you
could
know?
probably drink that.
I could order that.
It definitely had more going on, but I didn't like what it had going on.
What didn't you like about it?
I can't remember now. I mean, that was Sunday, so long ago.
Oh man, full 72
It's already
hours
Wednesday. It's
Yeah,
too late.
Yeah,
Wednesday.
exactly.
It's too late. It's too late. We've gone too far.
I think he just didn't like, again, the more flavor each of them got, the more we were like,
Yeah.
We're just, those aren't our flavors. And well, I'm sure we could train ourselves to
Hashtag
tolerate
not my
it.
flavor.
Yeah. We could probably train ourselves to tolerate it, but I just don't think that's ever something I'm going to enjoy. Of course, when we first started drinking bourbon, we probably didn't enjoy it straight either, but it never gave me a headache and made me feel the way that scotch makes me feel.
It's given me a little bit of a headache. I'll be really
I
honest with you.
can't do it.
That
I just can't. But I will. I'll do it just to find out.
For science.
And then I'm quitting forever. I quit scotch a long time ago. I retired.
we need you back.
But I really want
I'm
to like
14
it
years
too.
clean of scotch.
Ron Swanson likes scotch, and so will I.
I want to try Lagavulin sometime.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Is it on here? No.
no.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Oh, yeah. We do. We
Oh,
have a
look at that.
Lagavulin 8.
Apparently, that's one of the ones that's going to be funny for us to try.
Oh, okay, great.
This is probably the most intense of all of them. Lagavulin 8.
And then Lager.
Lefroig.
Lefroig.
Yeah.
Lefroig.
Lefroy.
I want to hear you pronounce all of these the way you think they should be pronounced.
Glenfiddich.
Okay, what's this one?
Buick.
No.
Brooch. Latica. The classic laddie.
Oh, I.
What about...
Oh, we have Monkey Shoulder. Everyone's
Yeah.
been crying about that one.
Boy, there are going to be some Scotch
Glenfiddich?
drinkers listening to this who are going to be
Mm-hmm.
like, you just don't get it.
Yeah.
Buchanan's.
Buchanan, maybe?
Buchanan's.
That's Buchanan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a weird ass spelling.
It's okay.
Special Reserve. Oh, Ardbeg. Ardbeg.
We should have Scotch time with Chad.
We need to...
Just like...
Ardbeg.
He tries
really,
to
like-
spell it. He tries to describe it. He can't. He hates the whole thing. But we just film his time
But I want it to be really...
by himself sitting in a chair.
I want it to be like super well produced, and
Yeah.
like he's sitting in front of a fire in like a smoking jacket.
Yes,
and
this is what I'm
everything,
thinking.
and,
But
like,
he's just like, oh.
the camera zooms in, and he's like, "Welcome to Scotch Time with Chad. I don't want to be here."
This is a Buick Latic.
That's funny. We should do this.
I'm gonna give you my expert notes on it. Smells like paint thinner.
I love the best description of one that I've read is like like a charred Band-Aid. And that is
what did I say about these? It smelled like throw up.
He did. He said it smells like vomit. I was
smells like you're walking by and you're like, oh, someone just vomited.
Sorry, James.
What I really want.
I didn't feel quite so strongly, but I would really like to watch you in a smoking jacket sitting by a fire, just painfully trying to say the names and describing them and drinking them and just having a terrible time.
Like
at the end, I'm just gonna throw it down and say, "America, give me a bourbon."
Like the first episode, you're pretty okay with it, and like second, you're like, I guess I gotta keep doing this, and by like the eighth episode, you're like, this is the worst.
Myself.
I can't believe I agreed.
Why did I sign a 30-episode contract?
I'm not getting paid for anything.
This is a funny idea. We should do it.
Oh, it absolutely needs to happen.
I've always been looking for an excuse to buy a smoking jacket.
This would go viral on social media. You do want to be Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner?
Who?
I thought you said Hugh Hefner.
Hugh?
Hugh.
He wants a smoking jacket real
Hugh,
bad.
that's who. I mean, I would like to be Ron Swanson. Like all your bacon and all your eggs.
I'm afraid you misheard me.
Afraid you bring me a lot of bacon and a lot of eggs. All right.
Okay, anyway. Guys, thanks for being on the show again this week.
Sure, we totally can.
Yeah, appreciate it. Where can everybody who listens to the show find you on social media?
At It's Bourbon Night.
Yep, on social media.
That's Instagram is the biggest, Twitter, and Facebook.
Yep. We also have our Amazon influencer page, which is amazon.com/shop/itsbourbonnight, where you can find all these fun glasses that we're drinking out of tonight.
That you can't see.
You can't see them, but they're cool.
They're cool.
And other things that we love. Basically, it's like our Oprah's list of favorite things, but it's on Amazon.
Yeah.
You're going to try back. You're going to try
But there's no bourbon there. I'm sorry, that's illegal.
Yeah. And lastly, we both have Patreon, so ours is patreon.com/itsbourbonnight, and yours is patreon.com/this is my bourbon podcast?
I think it's without the this is.
My bourbon podcast?
Yes.
Okay.
Try one of those. He'll stumble on it.
Just search it.
That's why you let him do his plug.
Well,
that's okay. I appreciate it. Save me some breath.
You're so polite.
Well,
Aww.
you know, what are you going to do?
So, as Chad said, we do have a Patreon page. It is patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. You can become a patron of the show for as little as $1 a month and as much as $50 a month. Don't donate $50 a month because I know that I don't have that money and you probably don't either. Save it for bourbon. But if you do that, we would really appreciate it. There's a special surprise waiting for you on the other end of it. You can find us on social media on Instagram and Twitter at My Bourbon Shop, on Facebook at This Is My Bourbon Shop, and our Threadless store is thisismybourbonshop.thread. Oh wait, no, it's just bourbonshop.threadless.com. How many episodes? This is the 16th episode. I'm gonna get it right eventually.
Well, we forgot to list our YouTube page, which is our biggest place to find us. But
that's right.
Whatever.
So we all goofed.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
that's this show in general. I think it's just one big goof.
Right. Please also find us on YouTube at It's Bourbon Night.
Yeah. Give us a rate and review. Keep counteracting that 1-2-star rate on.
Who did that?
Don't know. They didn't leave a review. All they left was a 2-star rating, which
a jerk.
Which means I don't like it.
Yeah, that's not
I'm always
nice.
open to constructive criticism, so
We'll spin those episodes we weren't on, right?
Yeah. Clearly.
Oh, whatever. Who knows? Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Next week, Chad gets shushed next week.
I'm making noises.
Next week, I think, might be the Star Wars episode. I'm not entirely sure yet. I need to kind of figure out my schedule. But, yeah, I think it'll be the Star Wars episode. Why the heck not? Chad.
Another shot of Chad.
Chad and Sarah, thank you all so much for listening.
Harry.
Our pleasure.
Really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for listening. Tell your friends about the show. But until next week, I'm Perry, and this is My Bourbon Podcast.